And I would like to request our brother Mr. Shaukat Islam MSK Jilani Chosong to come and give a speech here, who is the president of the American Rohingya Society. Welcome everybody here. Today we are staging a protest in front of the White House to send a strong message to our President, Mr. Obama, to put effective pressure on Burmese government, because the Burmese government is oppressing the all ethnic minorities people, including the Rohingya Muslims in Burma. Since decades ago, Burmese government starting to oppress the people racially, politically, and by all means, especially the Muslims, Rohingyas of Arakan, to wipe out them from the country. So our President, Mr. Obama, is visiting to Burma on November 12 to attend the ASEAN Regional Summit and will give the lecture in Rangoon, including to meet with the President and government officials. So we would like to send a message through the Mr. Obama to put the pressure on Burmese government and to stop ethnic cleansing and genocide on Muslim minorities of Arakan. Our President, Mr. Obama, visited on November in 2012. That is his first trip to Burma. Now this will be the second time he is visiting to Burma. So we would like to tell our President, Mr. Obama, to talk to Mr. President of Burma, Thein Sein, to stop immediately all kinds of oppression and genocide in Burma. So I would like to read some of the sentences here to our President. Dear Mr. President Obama, we are deeply concerned about the situation in Burma, including stalled reforms, backtracking on core commitments, and the government's targeting of ethnic and religious minorities with shocking policies of hate and discrimination. We strongly urge you insist during your second trip to the country that these issues be addressed and make clear that the United States will not support full normalization of our relations absent genuine change. With respect to installed reforms, we understand the current government claims it will hold elections in late 2015. Yet, over a year before the election, and despite the fact that President Thein Sein's own party dominates the committee that would initiate constitutional changes, the military-backed constitution continues to arbitrarily bar the leader of the opposition party, Aung San Suu Kyi, from being eligible to compete on equal footing for the presidency. This has created a situation in which the election cannot, by definition, be fully free and fair or credible, because the Burmese people cannot elect a leader of their own choosing. This same constitution also guarantees 25% of seats in parliament lie in the control of the commander-in-chief of Burma. This cannot be the basis of a truly democratic society. We are also deeply concerned about the increasing number of political prisoners and detainees. President Thein Sein and his advisors have made a clear commitment to the international community that they will release all prisoners. Yet the number of political prisoners has steadily increased since the beginning of this year. While those who who have been released are still forced to serve suspended sentences, a situation which discourages them from participating in politics because they could be returned to prison for decades at any moment. Meanwhile, there are growing concerns that the press freedom is being eroded. Long sentences were recently handed down to investigative journalists, and climate of fear is growing amongst those who wish to report on key issues relating to the Burmese economy and society. This has led the United Nations, a special rapporteur on human rights for the country, to say in recent months, many of my interlocutors have seen the shrinking of that space for civil society and the media. Furthermore, we are concerned about the government's treatment of ethnic religious minorities, as attack against the Kachin, Shan and others illustrate. Tens of thousands, including Christian Kachin, remain stuck in a internal displacement camp where the government refuses to allow unimpeded international humanitarian aid. Land grabs are also endemic and are a clear threat to change.
How do you say?
And it has become a clearer than ever that things in government is provoking and creating to anti-Muslim violence, circulating a draft plan that would force even more Rohingya, Muslim men and women and children into displacement camps. The draft plans clearly stated intention of interning the Rohingya follows the violence that has already displaced approximately 140,000 people over the past 2 years. This is not an isolated issue, but the latest in a series of decisions by things in government impeaching minority Muslims, including proposing discriminatory laws to Parliament, maintaining restrictions on even the most basic freedoms like movement and marriage, and still preventing Doctors Without Borders from operating freely and fully to provide life-saving care to people with no other services. This has now become a clear pattern, interrupted mainly by promises but insufficient actions to end the discrimination and violence in Burma that has resulted in horrifying images of emaciated and dying children. The United States should not continue to support significant advancement in our relations under these conditions. The Constitution must be amended to ensure that the Burmese people, including all minorities, can choose their own leader. Attacks on ethnic minorities must come to an end, and the government and military must responsibly participate in national reconciliation efforts. Urgently, the Burmese government must put an immediate end to its policy of keeping the minority Rohingya population stateless, displaced, and in a constant state of humanitarian crisis. The United States should continue to engage diplomatically, but must recognize and act upon these important issues. To this end, we should add individuals and entities and the specially designed nation individualized sanctions list. We understand that none have been added on the basis of human rights for several years. We urge that these issues remain at the top of your agenda in Burma and that you seek specific steps to resolve them. These issues are directly within the power of the current government and military to change, and unless they do so, Burma will not be making the transition that was promised to the world and international communities that the Burmese people deserve. Our President Obama have said in the 2012 November that there is no excuse for violence against innocent people, and the Rohingya hold within themselves the same dignity as you do and I do. This is the word Mr. Obama mentioned in his first trip to Burma at the Rangoon University Convocation Center. So we need our president to just say the Rohingya when he talks with Mr. President of Burma. So he needs to raise the Rohingya concern and Rohingya issues and all the ethnic minorities, to settle and immediate to end the ethnic cleansing and genocide in Burma. Finally, I would like to urge our President, Mr. Obama, to please send a strong signal about the Rohingya issues to the Burmese President Thein Sein. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua, the President of the Rohingya American Society, who came all the way from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, to participate in this protest, this peaceful protest.